Hi guys, welcome to Vinny's channel. This is a continuation of how I got my UK job as a teacher. Enjoy!
So when you mean prepare, so I've got two questions. The first one, I'm going to come back to this prepare financially one. Now, when you are
Right.
applying for the jobs, right?
Mhm.
The jobs, did they clearly state that this was for overseas teachers, or it's just a generic job and you applied? So was there any indication that they were going to take in an overseas teacher?
Okay. During my time of application, and specifically with the agencies, they were in for overseas teachers. With the agencies, they specified that they are looking for overseas teachers. And
Okay.
with the websites that I mentioned earlier, with those ones, there wasn't any indication. They didn't specify. It is
Okay.
recently that I got to know that they specify on the teaching website. Yes. But
Okay.
during my time of application, it wasn't specified at all.
So
So
you just applied.
I
You
just
just
had
applied
to
for a job.
apply, yes,
Okay.
not
Okay.
knowing whether they
Okay.
will take me as an overseas teacher or not.
Okay. Did you email afterwards to say I applied, I'm overseas, blah blah blah, or you just applied and left it at that?
Oh, I applied, and after a while, if I don't get to hear from them, I email them back to inquire. Yeah,
Okay.
some of them always give me the unfortunately messages, but
Mhm.
that didn't pull me down. I had
Yeah.
to persist. Yes, I had to
Okay.
persist and
Okay. Okay.
did.
And, and then my second question is, now going back to when you talked about you had to apply financially. So my
Mhm.
question is, when you mean preparing yourself financially, was that to do with visa and your flight, or was there any other um, financial implications apart from these that you needed to sort out?
Okay, there wasn't any other apart from my visa cost, relocation cost. Yes, that was what I meant by preparing financially.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to ask how much, but I'm sure people can find this information on I'm
Yeah,
sure people can find this information on the UK website, the Doggo website. So
yes, of
so
course.
but then your advice is prepare yourself financially because the school might not sponsor you immediately. Is that the case?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. And let's clarify, this is secondary, so this is not primary, this is secondary section sector, not primary, right?
Yes, yes. This is solely secondary school teaching, and remember, it's open for only math teachers, science
Okay.
teachers, and foreign language teachers for now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. All right then. So we've done the application, we've applied for jobs, and now I think the next thing will be the interview. So just tell us when you eventually applied, you got a let's imagine you got a response from one of the prospective employers saying, yes, we're happy to do that. Now, what was your
Mhm.
interview like? Did you have an interview? What was it like? Was it online? Just talk us through the process, please.
Okay, so after applying for a couple of to many schools, and I had one interview directly from a school, and it
Okay.
was an online interview.
Okay.
And what transpired actually was they sent me a link that I joined
Mhm.
online, and we had the interview. With the interview questions that were asked, there are a lot. So if you see me looking down, I will be just referring to my diary.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
So they were asking all about how I became a teacher, what
Okay.
brought me into teaching profession, and they also asked of my number of years of experience. They also asked about classroom management, my classroom management styles. They also asked about my approaches to teaching students with different abilities. They also asked me about child safeguarding. And before that interview, I had a certificate, an online certificate on a child safeguarding course that I did, and it really
Okay.
helped me. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really
Wow.
helped me.
Okay. And this is an online thing, so people can. Is it paid? Do people have to pay for it, or is it a free course?
Oh, it's a free course.
Oh wow.
The DFE website has one specific,
Okay.
another one even on prevent. Aside
Mm-hmm.
safeguarding, they have another one called prevent, and
Mm-hmm.
aspiring teachers could just take up those online
Yeah.
courses. They
Yeah.
it's actually about a couple of hours, and you'll be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Let me
you can
just. Yeah.
download your certificate right away after having it.
Okay, let me just clarify for people who are watching. So the prevent
Uh-huh.
is basically a course that has to do with radicalization. So how to spot radicalization and all of that, and what measures you take to prevent those. If, for instance, you have a student who is showing signs of radicalization, so what do you need to do, and how can you prevent this? So that's just what it means. I just want to explain for the viewers who are watching and thinking, okay, what is prevent? And I'm sure safeguarding, they all know what safeguarding is. So so you had to do these two courses online, and a
Mhm.
couple of hours. I know because I have done them several times as well, so they don't take long. So that's good. So basically, did they ask a question to do with prevent or just safeguarding?
Oh, for my interview, they asked only about safeguarding, but I saw it wise to have prevent as well. Because at
Okay.
the end run, when I got a job offer, I was asked about all the courses I've done, and I added the prevent, and
Wow.
it's boosted my, yeah, it boosted my
Kudos to
CV
you.
and
Well
other
done to
things.
you.
Thank you for the
Wow.
compliment.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So after the questions, were those all the questions, or were there more questions that they asked?
There were more questions. They
Okay.
asked when I would be able to relocate, and
Okay.
would I be able to come alone, or would I be coming with family, and a whole lot of questions. I can't really remember all of them, but
Wow.
most of it
Wow.
got to do with the work, actually teaching work. Actually, they wanted to know if I am the right candidate. But
Wow.
unfortunately, after that interview, I
Yeah.
didn't hear from them. After a week, I emailed them, and they told me, unfortunately, they had another candidate who
Oh.
was their best.
Oh dear.
Don't
Oh
worry.
dear. Oh dear. What
So
a
I
shame.
lost. I
Wow.
actually lost that one.
Oh
And
no. Oh no. And for that, so let's go back to the interview. For that interview, was there any teaching aspects to it, or it's just basically the question aspects? Was there any teaching?
oh, it was basically the questioning. Yeah.
Okay.
They
Okay.
actually didn't give me anything to teach. Yes.
Okay. 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 So then you lost that one. You lost that job, or you
Mm-hmm.
didn't get that job. So how did
Yes.
you then get the job that brought you over to the UK? So
Okay.
maybe
So
let's.
after, yeah, thank you. After that, I had
Mhm.
3 more interviews from
Oh,
an agency,
okay.
and I had the opportunity to have the interview with the heads of school, and I think some of their deputies, 3 different schools, and not at the same time, different times. Uh-huh. But I also didn't get those. I
Wow.
actually didn't hear from them after the interview as well. I don't know
Wow.
why. To me, I saw that the interview went well, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't just hear from them.
Wow. Well, you see, I just want to say for those who are watching, some of my subscribers who get to me and they say, oh, I've been applying for a job and I don't know what's going on. You can hear it now. Vivian had loads of interviews, loads, before she
Yeah,
eventually got a job. So don't give up. I keep saying to everyone, just keep trying, keep trying. One of it would definitely click. Just keep trying.
yeah.
See, we just have to persevere. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it needs a lot of perseverance, yeah, and a
Mm,
lot of patience on your side.
mm,
Because
mm.
with me, I applied to lots of them, and my email was filled up with this unfortunately messages. Yeah,
Oh,
I had lots
oh
of them.
dear.
I could wake up in the morning, and all I
Yeah.
could find was lot of messages. I opened this,
Wow.
unfortunately. I opened the next, unfortunately. So,
That
but
was demoralizing.
yeah, but I kept going on because I knew what I was looking for, and I had to
Mm,
persist to get that.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. So the one you eventually got, tell us, how did that one happen?
Okay, so I had another interview from an agency, and actually, I had the interview with one member of the agency,
Okay,
that
instead
being
of you,
part of the three.
let me cut you short. I just have a question I need to
Okay,
ask before you go on. So these
all right.
agencies that you're talking about, were they paid agencies? So were you paying them to search for the jobs for you, or was it just you register with them and then they search for a job for you? Was it just totally
Uh,
free, or was it paid?
with the agencies that I'm talking about, they were totally free. You just look for them online,
Mm-hmm.
register with them. Some of them may ask for your CV, and just your basic details, your certificates, your transcripts. If you have all of those in your CV, they'll just take your CV, and you just have to have patience with them. And you keep checking on their website. If there is any vacancy in your subject area, then you just apply for it. That was what I did. It
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's good.
was
Okay, carry
totally
on.
free. It was
Oh,
totally
that's good.
free. No one
Yeah.
took anything from me. Yes, it was
Well,
totally
I'm
free.
glad. I'm glad that you said that, because again, I've had people asking me, "Oh, I need to register with this agency, but they're telling me to pay so amount of money." I'm like, I
Oh,
don't know, please. I don't know. I don't work for any agency, so I don't know. But why would I want to pay for something
yeah.
that is online, that I can easily find
Uh-huh.
online with perseverance and persistence that
Yeah.
I can get? So again, we just have to make sure that we don't fall into the wrong hands by paying
Yes.
for something that we can get free. Okay, sorry, carry on,
Yeah.
Vivian. So then what
All
happened
right.
for to get the
So
job?
the 3 other interviews that I had with the agency, and I couldn't get those as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had I had an email actually from one person from similar agency that contacted me just like, oh, I am from another branch of the same agency, which you had a recent interview with. The person was actually trying to find out if I would be interested to get a job offer maybe from his branch. With the agencies, they have consultants for different destinations across England.
Okay.
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 So maybe if, for instance, I had the first interview with someone from maybe the northern part of England. I had a message from someone else from maybe the west part of England asking me if I would be glad to have an interview at his side to check if I
Okay.
will be lucky or not. Yeah. So
Okay.
I said, yes, I'm open to any part of England, actually. So I went for it. Yes, I went for it. Even though I was so downhearted with the previous experiences with interviews, but I still had to give in and put in my best. So I just went for it. And I never knew. I had no clue that this was my actual one. So,
Oh,
yeah.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, I had no clue. I was so downhearted. One funny thing, the very
Hmm.
first interview that I had, the name of the school was St. Gabriel.
What an irony.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, if my first interview is coming from a St. Gabriel school, then I'm lucky. All angels are on my side.
Oh my goodness.
But so that day, that last interview, that is the fifth interview, was my lucky one.
Wow.
And
Wow.
right after the interview, I had the interview, closed the interview around 5 p.m. And around 7 p.m., I got a message. I got a call actually that I've been given an offer and come and
Wow.
see what. I
Wow.
didn't know whether I should jump, shout. I had mixed feelings actually.
Oh, I understand the
Because,
feeling.
yeah.
Wow. 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 Amazing. Amazing. And that interview, did it have a teaching aspect, or it was just again
Oh,
conversation?
it was also a conversation. I didn't get the opportunity to teach.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. That
Yeah.
is so amazing. Okay. So after you got sent the offer, what else? What happened next?
Okay, so after the offer, I had to wait for my certificate of sponsorship. Okay, so I was sent the offer letter actually and was asked to have patience for the certificate of sponsorship because it would take a while because they also have to apply for it from the government. Okay, so I waited, and during the period of waiting, I quickly applied for my visa. Uh, is it ACTIS? Active Visa Nationality English Proficiency. It is
Okay.
a requirement before you can apply for a visa.
Is
Okay,
that the IELTS?
no, that is not IELTS. It is called um, Visa and Nationality English Proficiency
I've
Certificate.
never heard of that one.
Oh, okay. So the website with which you can get that is called ECTIS,
Okay.
ECCTIS.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I quickly applied for that
Hmm.
because without it, you can't apply for visa. Even with the
Okay.
COS and your offer
Hmm.
letter, you can't apply for your visa without that. Okay, so
So
I
let me
quickly got.
understand. Let me
Mhm.
understand. So the ethics you apply to. So is that some sort of, because I know there's something I'm trying to remember, which I know does things like that. Was usually called UK NARIC before, where they
Yes,
take your qualifications and then they check to see if it sort of matches your GCSE levels or things matches with their
yes.
standard in the UK. So is that what this application was for as well?
That is the annex statement of comparability is different. Okay,
Okay.
as you just said, that one is used to match your qualifications to that of England to check whether it is the same level 6, and that is from ENIC. Okay,
Okay.
but what I am referring to is the English proficiency statement. That
Okay.
is to certify that your course or your degree program was done in English,
I
and
see.
it also proves that you understand English, you can speak and
Okay. Okay.
communicate,
I get
yeah,
it.
in English.
Okay. I get it now. Yeah.
So I quickly got that.
Mm-hmm.
And about a week time, I had my certificate of sponsorship
Wow,
that was sent
that's
to me.
fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
They
That
were
is
really
really,
fast
really
with
fast.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So we so after that, I suppose the next step is to apply for your visa now, isn't it?
Sure. Sure.
What documents did you have to put together to be able to apply for your visa? And did the school require any sort of documentation from you apart from the usual?
Okay. Now with the school, they actually didn't require any document from me because they had all the documents they needed already. But they
Mhm.
just asked me to send a scanned copy of my certificates and transcripts for
Mhm.
verification, I think, which I
Okay.
did. Now with the
Okay.
visa application, the main
Mm.
things that you would need is what I mentioned earlier, the English language proficiency from ECTIS,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you would also need your own passport booklet from your home country. That is the main key thing.
Okay.
And what else? What else? I'm trying
Bank
to
statements, I
remember all the
suppose,
things.
for your
Yeah,
yeah.
statement of comparability as well, and
Mm.
the COS that was issued for me.
Mhm.
So these four things were the main things that I needed for visa application.
What about your bank statements? Did they ask for a bank statement to see that you can um, support yourself financially while you're here?
No, I wasn't asked any bank statement. No, because the COS bank statement comes in when your COS is not certified for maintenance. What I
Okay.
mean by being certified for maintenance is on the certificate of sponsorship. When you check it and you go below to the bottom, they normally have something like a box, a small box. If your sponsor or if your employer ticks that box and
Mhm.
says yes against it, then it means that they are accepting to take up the cost for, let's say, accommodation when you come in, okay, for a period of time. It may be a minimum of 1 month or 2 months. Okay. Now, if your certificate of sponsorship is not ticked and it is a no for your certified maintenance, then you should have financial proof. Okay,
Okay.
because I don't with mine, I had my own ticked yes, meaning that my employer is certifying maintenance. Okay,
Okay.
so I didn't have to prove any financial thing to the UK
Okay.
government when I was
Okay.
applying for visa. Yeah.
I see. I see. So with that financial maintenance that your employer takes, what does that cover for you in the UK?
Oh, actually, I have no clue what that covered.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
one thing that I know is if you are coming in, let's say, alone or with family, and it's take DS, then the UKVI will not be asking any proof of funds from you as an individual.
Okay.
Okay. But if it
Okay.
is ticked no, then the
Mm.
UKVI will be demanding a proof of finance. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
one thing that I know.
Okay. So, but let's be clear. While you're here, you're paying your rent yourself. You are
Yeah.
supporting yourself. So the school is not doing any of that for you. Okay.
Okay, so with me, I was so fortunate. After I had the COS, I was assigned to an HR who guided me through the
Mm-hmm.
process on what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
I kept communicating with her on what to do next. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got my visa, remember one more thing, let me go back a bit. With mine, remember, I got the job from an agency. So I was told that I was to take up all my costs of relocation.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I took up all my cost of relocation, including my visa fee, my health charge. I had to pay all that myself. Yes.
Okay.
And it also included planning for my own accommodation when I come in. But fortunately for me, I had my HR ask other teachers, other colleague teachers that I'll be joining, that if someone could accommodate me for a while as I look for my
Yeah.
own accommodation. Yes.
Oh wow.
So
Oh wow.
I got fortunate and had one teacher who opted
Mhm.
to host me. And this
Wow.
teacher has been so wonderful. They've hosted
Oh
me for almost a month.
wow. That
Yeah.
is very kind. That's very kind of them. That is
Yeah,
very, very
almost a
kind of
month.
them.
And
Wow.
I later on searched for my own accommodation and paid for it myself, and I'm in it.
Okay. Okay. That's very good. Now I know the government offers some sort of relocation course. This is not for maths, isn't it? This is for physics, isn't it? For those who be teaching
Yes.
physics rather than for maths. So for maths, you have no relocation cost from the school or the government.
Yeah, from the government, no.
Okay.
It's only with the physics, yeah, with the physics
Yeah.
teachers that got that is it 10,000 bonus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with math
Okay.
teachers, no. But myself
Okay.
personally and where I am working currently,
Mm.
upon arrival, I was told that I would be getting a £5,000 bonus.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't this just from one blessing to another?
Oh yes, God has been so good.
Wow. What an amazing testimony. Wow.
I actually had no clue. I didn't have that because at the back of my mind that I would be getting something because I was told from onset,
Mm,
okay, that I will
mm,
be taking up all my costs. So I
mhm,
just planned, got all the necessary arrangements with regards to finance, and got
mhm.
myself into the country. And upon arrival, that was the gift I had.
Wow. Wow. And did they state why they gave the bonus, or they just said, five
Oh,
thousand bonus?
they just told me that is a bonus. That's the only thing that they can do to support me because
Wow.
they know I'm
Wow.
coming from afar and a whole lot.
Wow.
So
And
they
that is
just
a good
offered
start,
that
you
to
know.
me.
That is a very
Yeah.
good start. That is a very, very good start. That's very thoughtful of them. Very thoughtful of
Yeah.
them. Oh wow. Okay. So now we've come to the UK.
Uh-huh.
Sort of settling in. Let's talk about the job itself. Okay.
Hmm.
So well, this is secondary, and I suppose you teach what year group?
Okay. I teach year 7, year 8, and year 9. That is for secondary.
Okay.
And during my interview, I was asked whether I could take up a science class or I
Mm.
could teach science as well because from my background, I was trained actually in Ghana as a science and math teacher
Oh
from
wow.
College of Education, yes. And then I did my degree solely in math. So
Okay.
when they got to know that all that from my CV, I was asked and I told them, why not? So
Mhm,
here I
mhm.
teach both science and math.
Okay. So you do
Mhm.
both science and math at the same time. Wow. That's isn't that a
Yeah.
lot of workload for you?
Yes, I know, but it has actually helped me. It is bringing back my sciences, because I actually left that for a while, but I think they
Yeah.
are helping me go back to it.
Wow, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So starting the job now,
Hmm.
are there any, did they give you any training, professional developments before you actually started teaching? Or you just came into the UK, reported, and boom, you started the job?
Oh, so mine was I came into the UK, reported. I got to meet all the staff. We actually had a staff meeting on my first day,
Mm.
and I was given my classes, the classes that I'll be teaching, the subject areas, where they have left off. And the next day, I started teaching. Actually, I
Wow.
got to the country on a Friday, and
Mm.
Monday was the staff meeting, and so Tuesday I started teaching.
Oh my days.
With yes,
There's no break at all. No,
no,
there's no this is the time. Let's
yeah.
take you around. Nothing like that.
Yes, no
Wow.
time to waste at all. I actually
Wow.
thought maybe I could be given a 1 week break or something
Mm,
to get to
mm.
know the environment and all that, but no, that wasn't the situation for me actually. So I
Wow.
got to it on Tuesday and started off,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
have been teaching since.
Wow. And are they offering you any, for instance, like observing another teacher so you can
Yes.
understand how the system works, how the teaching system works here? Are they giving you any other professional developments in the background as you're doing the teaching, or you're just left to your own devices?
Oh, they are helping me. Now, with
Okay.
regards to observation, I get to observe other teachers when I'm free, and
Okay.
other teachers also observe me when they are also free. And
Okay.
after every observation, we exchange feedback on what went wrong, what went right, and we just have chit chats about that, and we go on. And with regards
Okay.
to CPD,
Mm.
I've already done one with
Okay.
them here. Yes,
Okay.
they have
Okay.
arranged CPDs for every teacher. So you get to choose which one you want to embark on or to take, and the date is given, and you just have to attend.
Oh wow. Okay. That's very good and clear. And
Yeah.
the that's very good. And so therefore, how are you finding the job now?
Oh, with the job, I would say it is a good to go thing because I've been teaching maths 10 years now from my home
Wow.
country. And
Wow.
yeah, the topics and everything that has got to do with maths in secondary school from Ghana is very similar, the same actually.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's very
Mhm.
same when we come to the
Okay.
UK. But the only
Okay.
thing that is new is my adjusting to the way they do their teaching stuff,
Okay.
the way they have their lessons over here. That is the only thing that
Okay.
I'm picking up with, and that's all. With the subject itself, it's everything is the same.
Yeah.
Everything is the
Yeah.
same.
True.
The only
Maths
thing
is,
is the routine.
yeah.
The
Okay.
routine here in
Okay.
England.
Yeah. Well, maths is universal anyway. So maths is almost
Yeah.
like English. It's a universal language. So wherever you go, it's going to be the same anyway. It's going to be the same. But as you rightly
Yeah.
said, the methods will be different. So tell us, what are the differences?
Yeah.
What's the difference
Oh,
between?
the only difference has got to do with the use of IT throughout. ICT.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, because you are using ICT throughout your lesson. So my little advice to other teachers who are aspiring is that they
Mm-hmm.
should get their IT right. You should actually get your IT right. Yes,
Wow.
because
Wow.
without the IT, you can
Mm-hmm.
come over here, but you will be fumbling. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by IT? Is that the interactive whiteboard? What is it? Can you break it down so
yes.
that everyone can
With
understand?
the interactive whiteboard and the use of computers throughout your lesson in collaboration with the interactive whiteboard, your lesson preparation, using of IT. I know most of our people are using IT, all right, but here you are using it throughout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to prepare
Mm-hmm.
your slides. You need to have, if you're fortunate and you have slides already, you should know
Mm-hmm.
how to use the interactive whiteboard. You should know how to use your basic, you should have your basic computer skills. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
they all
Okay.
contribute to you becoming successful here.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Here you rarely use the whiteboard or the blackboard. Rarely. It's everything. You have to prepare PowerPoint slides, no matter what it is you're teaching,
Yes.
even for maths. Prepare PowerPoint slides and
Yes.
all of that. So it's heavily dependent on ICT,
Hmm.
as you said. But I just wanted you to break that down so everyone can understand what you mean by ICT. Okay. And then what else is different apart from the ICT? What is the routine like that's different from what you know in Ghana?
Oh, I would say most of the activities or most of the routines are similar because let's say a critical day. With a
Mm.
critical day in a teacher's life here, it's similar to Ghana because you prepare for your lesson before you go to class and you have your slides, your teaching materials already. You take your register
Mhm.
and you go on with your lesson and all the things you need to do during a lesson, including your methodology. Your one thing that I would talk mainly about is behavior management.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
behavior management is very key here
Mm.
because most of the students they are either doing this or doing that in class, and so you should know how to deal with those. Yeah,
Yeah.
but most of the schools also are helping out with this behavior management because most of the schools in England have got some systems in place
Yeah.
that could be used to check behavior. But as an
Mm.
individual teacher, you should also know more about how to check behavior when you are dealing with students in classrooms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. Yeah, behavior
Yeah.
management. Yeah, your behavior management skill needs to be top notch, top notch. Especially
Yes.
secondary. Primary
Yes.
we can still get away with a lot of stuff, but for
Okay.
secondary, yeah, oh my days, you have to be very very strong with your behavior management
Yes.
skills. If you are going to survive, but notwithstanding, I
Yes.
mean, we're not the children are not bad, so let's not paint the impression that they're bad.
Oh, yeah, they are
But of
not
course,
bad. You
we
know,
just know that, yeah.
it's just a teenage stage
Mhm.
thing, and it's common
Mhm.
even back in Ghana. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
very common.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know,
Exactly.
teenagers, they
Yeah.
sometimes want to show off in class, they
Mhm.
sometimes want, yeah, just
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
teenage thing. But if you are indeed a secondary school teacher, you should know
Mm.
how to deal with secondary school students when it comes to
True.
behavior because, yeah.
Mm.
So if you
True.
have, you are very good at that, you shouldn't
Mm.
be having any problem actually with behavior management because knowing how to relate to teenagers is the key.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about they come in, you do the register for a typical day. They come in, you do the register. Is it in the same class where you'll be having your lesson, or do the children move from class to class depending on what subject it is, or are you the one who's actually moving from class to class to teach your lesson?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Now, with me and my experience from Ghana, with
Mm.
Ghana schools, teachers move from class to class. Okay, students are stable in one particular classroom, but it's
Okay.
quite the opposite here in England. Okay,
Mm.
it's opposite
Mm.
here in England where the teacher is stable in one classroom and the students get to come to the teacher's class for each
Okay.
lesson. Yes,
Yeah.
that is how
Yeah.
it is. That's the difference. Okay, so I get to be in one classroom and students
Mm.
come. Yeah, if
Okay.
I'm, for example, I'm having a year 9 maths class or a math lesson, I after being in my classroom, I think my students join for that particular lesson. And when in my school, what we do is as a teacher, you should be at the door to welcome your students into the class. You make sure they take off all their jackets and hoodies. They take their seats. And
Yeah.
as you are doing that, you should make sure you have a pre-lesson task on the whiteboard for them. In my school, we call it a DNA. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So you should
Okay.
have that on the whiteboard for them to
What does
work out
DNE
immediately.
mean? What does DNE mean?
DNA.
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 Oh.
Yes. It's
Okay.
just a terminology for a pre-lesson test. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So if you have that on the board already, then you stand by the door, welcome each of the students to enter the class. They take off their jackets and they go straight to do the DNA, whilst you, the teacher, you check on your computer and take the register.
Okay. Okay. I see. I
And
see. Mhm.
after taking the register, then you give them time, maybe 5 minutes or 2 more minutes to finish. Then you proceed with your lesson actually.
I
And
see.
every
I
lesson
see.
here in the UK is 1 hour. A
Okay.
lesson is 1 hour period. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And how many math lessons or groups do you have in a day, a typical day?
In a typical day, I can have 3 or 4 math lessons because
Okay.
on the school calendar or for lessons, every secondary school is having 5 lessons a day. 5 lessons a day. So it may depend. A particular class may be having a maths lesson with me and other lessons with other teachers because the student get to do the routine, and that is they move
Mm.
from different class to class. All
Mm.
right. So but on my part as a teacher,
Mm.
my maximum number of periods a day
Mm.
is 5 periods
Okay.
or 5 lessons in a day, and the minimum is about 3 or 2.
Okay. And this 5 includes your science as well. So not just 5
Yes.
lots of, so maybe 3 maths and maybe 2 science or vice versa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. And how are you coping with the marking? Because now
Oh
you're
yeah.
7 year, 8 year now. So you have to mark. So you have to mark.
Yes.
And I suppose depending on I don't know what your secondary school timetable is like. So you have 120 of them in each set anyway. So how do you go about with the marking? Because I can't seem to comprehend secondary school marking.
Oh. Yeah, we have been doing by marking. A maximum number of students in one class is about 32. Okay,
Mhm.
for now, that is where the classes I'm taking for now.
Mhm.
I can't really tell about other classes, but the maximum number is 32 for me, and I give them pre-work, as I said earlier, and during the lesson as well. You should be giving them more work to do. And with marking, we sometimes allow the students to mark their work in class with
Okay.
supervision. Yeah, with
Mhm.
supervision. But
Mhm.
exercises and tests and quizzes and exam cannot be marked by students themselves.
I
What I
see.
was referring to is just a small work that you could give them, and you get to show the answers on the board for them to tick as quick as they can. And you go around to
Okay.
supervise if they are doing the right thing. Yeah.
I see. I see. I see. Okay.